Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Let's Slice Data with Saurabh. So today I am here to discuss about Azure latency test, Azure latency test and Azure pricing calculator, which I will discuss in the later part of this video. And before that, we have to do some exercise that, okay, what it is exactly. I will give you just a brief about the public cloud, private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. And then I will tell you that why you want to shift from the on-prem to the cloud. That is very important thing. Then only you will understand. See, guys, right now I'm learning Azure on a very rapid basis. And trust me, I'm going to create more and more videos on that. And the first thing which I want to discuss today is about these two things. First one is Azure latency test, and then the Azure pricing calculator. See, when you are when you are working in the cloud environment, and if you know, at least in Azure, means I'm not talking about GCP and AWS. So at least in Azure, Azure is booming like anything. All the companies are using Azure like anything, and you all have to know that how Azure works. And before that, there are some baby steps. As you know that I will not jump onto the very critical content in the first video, but I will take you through the baby steps. If you will keep learning along with me, I trust me, you will become Azure expert in coming days, because I am also learning and I will teach you as I am doing always, right? In all my videos, what I have done, whatever I am learning in a very hard way, I'm trying to teach everyone in a very simple way. So guys, please be there in the video as we are going to discuss about the Azure latency test and the Azure pricing calculator. These two things are very important. So first, I would like to start from cloud. What is cloud environment? Everybody knows that. Means I have already created a couple of videos. You can go and watch my playlist there for the Azure cloud. You will get a little bit idea about the cloud. But here I just want to discuss about the types of cloud and why the companies are moving from on-prem to cloud. So these kind of digital transformations are happening everywhere and for every client. And if you will not upgrade yourself, you do not know about that, okay, what is this and how we are going to work on that, it is very difficult to stay in IT company. At least this whole AI and everything is coming, but you have to learn a few basic things which are very important. So guys, first I will discuss about the private cloud. I will not discuss about the public cloud first, because you should understand that where the client is and from where to where we have to travel. So the first thing is that any client which is coming to you, they have their data on on-premise. On-premise means in the company premises. So what is private cloud? Private cloud is an exclusively dedicated to a single organization. Just mark my word, single organization. It can be physically located on the company's premises. That is called on-prem data, on-prem or hosted by a third-party provider. So these two things are very important. Just remember this thing, I'm talking only about the private cloud first. With a private cloud, the organization has complete control over its infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, that is hardware and data and security, which is ideal for highly regulated industries. But nowadays, you know that everyone is moving towards cloud and they have to learn about it. Means they cannot manage their infrastructure, number one, and they cannot manage their data and security as well, because if they are going to manage, and let's say in oil and gas industry, they are producing tons of data every day. So GBs or terabytes or whatever you want to say. And how can they manage that particular data and how can they make sure that it is secure? Because of that only, it is very difficult for them to host that kind of infrastructure in their company premises. That's why they are moving outside and they want the cloud services. So this is the basic reason why they are moving from here to there. So private cloud is very simple thing, single organization, company premises, and the organization has complete control over its infrastructure, data, security, which is ideal for highly regulated industry. It's like having your own private car, giving you more control and privacy, but you are also responsible for all the maintenance because it's your private car, right? Then I will talk about the public cloud. So guys, when I'm taking some interviews and I'm asking them, what kind of public clouds do you know? Trust me, means like people are having 10 years of experience and they are not able to tell me that what is the public cloud and who are the service provider for the public cloud. So here I just want to tell you that the public cloud is owned and operated by a third party cloud services providers like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. These three are the mains. There are some others as well, but I rely on these three. Number one is Google Cloud, that is GCP, Amazon Web Services, that is AWS, and Microsoft Azure. Microsoft is booming like anything. And I will discuss more about Azure because in my company, at least, they're using Azure, means in my clients. The resources such as servers and storage are shared among many different customers. Through each customer's data remains logically isolated. So many customers, how can you share that data? Because your customers are present worldwide, right? They need access to that particular data from all over the world. And if you keep your servers within the premise, tomorrow, if you need, let's say today I'm dealing with 1 terabyte of data and tomorrow I'm going to deal with the 2 terabyte of data, then again, I have to increase the size of the server. So that's why we are moving towards the private public cloud. This model offers high scalability and pay as you go. Just remember this thing. So in the next lecture, maybe I will show you how can you create your Azure account. And trust me, guys, even there is some free account as well, but I prefer pay as you go account. You can create it from your own Outlook or Outlook ID, basically. So you can try that. And always go for pay as you go account. You have to give your credit card and credit card will cut only 2 rupees. Then I will tell you that, okay, how can you maintain your cost in a particular environment in Azure? That I will teach you later. But here you just understand that public cloud is owned and operated by the third party, not the client, not the company. Like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft that I have told you. This model, high scalability, pay as you go, that is very important pricing structure, and minimal management responsibilities for the user. We are not worried about the data. We are not worried about the security. We are not worried about anything. Everything is taken care by GCP. You have to just create one small account there and put the data in their storage. And that is their headache. They will take care of that. Yes, you have to pay as you go. Whatever services you will use there, you have to pay for that. So it is very simple. Let's say today I'm managing only 1 terabyte of data. Tomorrow I have to manage 5 terabytes of data. Then I can easily purchase more storage there. And day after that, I need only 1 terabyte of data storage. I can reduce it. So scalability is there. That is very important part in the public cloud. So this is important. Now, this is the third model where a hybrid cloud combines a public cloud and a private cloud, allowing data and applications to be shared between them. This model lets organizations leverage the benefits of the both public and private. For example, a company might use the private cloud for sensitive data and mission critical applications while using the public cloud for scalable workloads, less sensitive information. So sensitive information, they want to keep it with them. So they are using private cloud, and private cloud might be they need very less infrastructure to maintain that kind of data. And rest of the things like less sensitive information or workloads, which they want to scale at a public level, they can keep it in the public cloud. So this gives them flexibility and cost effectiveness of a public cloud with the security and control of a private cloud. So both of them. Yeah. So mostly companies are using this hybrid cloud. They have some data with them that is called the private cloud, but they put some data into the public cloud. So they are basically the hybrid cloud. So these three are the basic difference from the types of cloud, which I just want to explain you guys. And then this digital transformation. Everybody is talking about what is digital transformation. How are they moving data from on-prem to cloud? And why they are doing it basically. So migrating from an on-prem data center to the cloud is a significant strategic shift for businesses of all sizes. The move is driven by a desire to overcome the limitation on on-prem infrastructure and take advantage of the benefits offered by the cloud computing. As I told you, cost saving. Number one, cost saving is very important. Why? Because let's say how many engineers we need for maintaining a particular storage and scaling it, or how many data engineers we need, or how many data scientists we need, everything we need, right? When we have our own private cloud, we have to keep everyone, and to maintain the security, data security is very important. Risk and all these things can be taken care by if you use the public cloud, so they will take care of that. So it's a cost saving for you because you have to pay as you go. So whatever you will use, you will pay, otherwise you don't have to pay. Scalability and agility. Agility means immediately you can change it. Immediately you can switch the resources. Scalability means you can start from 1 GB to 100 GB, whatever you want. storage or RAM or CPUs or whatever. So whatever you want, you can scale it up, scale it down, and in immediate basis. So public cloud is going to help you in cost savings, scalability, agility, and enhanced security and compliance. Because here you have to take care of everything, right? As I told you, in the private cloud, you have to take care of the security, you have to take care of the compliance, everything. But in public cloud, you have to be very secure because Microsoft is taking care of that. And you know, Microsoft, there was one problem I forgot in between happened, but other than that, Microsoft is doing great. High availability and disaster recovery. They can immediately recover your data because they are keeping one backup of data in a separate region. Okay. And then the high availability. High availability means you can use it from anywhere. You can use it. It is available all the time. You don't have to worry about your data center or infrastructure or anything. Global access, improved collaboration. Everybody knows about it. It's a global access. You can use it from anywhere. That's why companies are moving from on-prem data center to the cloud. But again, I'm telling you, it is not happening fully. You can say that most of the companies are using the hybrid cloud. They are using the private as well as public. So private, they are using for the sensitive data, and public, they are using for the scalable workload. So this, you just remember this. And why I kept this video today, because whatever I am learning, I just want to teach you in a very simple way. So this Azure latency test, like you are testing the internet speed at home, right? That what is my internet speed? So let's say you want to, okay, everything is done. You know that, okay, I want to create my account in Azure storage, in Azure, Microsoft Azure, that is a cloud service provider. But where to start? What to do? What is the first step you have to do? You have to analyze your data as is data, that where I am sitting right now, what kind of data I have, what kind of data storage I have, what kind of data quality I have. And then you can go for the next step, okay, for the public cloud. And for that, you have to understand that, okay, which reason I'm going to choose. That is very important, guys. See, so when you work really in an organization, you have to understand about this latency test. And this latency test will tell you something. This is the azurespeed.com/azure/latency. I will keep this link in my video so you can easily access it. So that is called Azure latency test. Test network latency from your IP location to Azure data center worldwide. Choose the data center closest to you and your clients for better performance. Because see, I'm sitting in India. Okay, I want to create my account here. Okay, so I have to understand that, okay, which reason I'm going to choose. Let's say I'm sitting in Asia Pacific, Europe, US. See, Azure has given you everything in a very segregated way. You can see Middle East, South America, Canada, Mexico, Africa, wherever region you are, you can choose that particular, at least one reason to start the test. So like in internet also, we are doing that, right? That what is my speed, how we are testing that. Let's say I have chosen this Asia Pacific region. So what it will do, I have just selected all for the Asia Pacific region. And I said that I am sitting in Asia. What it will do, it will assess my IP address, IP location, and it will suggest me three regions. One is called West Mumbai, West India, Mumbai, Central India, Pune, and South India, Chennai. So in these three, he is saying that the latency is the latest. You can see 47 milliseconds, 55 milliseconds, and 75 milliseconds or 76 milliseconds. So you can choose any one of them. Means like 49 milliseconds, I mean, less than a second, right? So latency is almost zero. You can choose any reason in these three. Let's say you are sitting in Europe. You want to test that, okay, which location I have to choose. It will analyze your IP address and everything. And then it will say that, okay, you can choose any region from the Spain, Central, Switzerland, North Europe, anything. Because you are choosing that data because you have some data there or somewhere. So you can choose accordingly. Let's say in US also you can try. I just want to see that, okay, which one I have to choose. I will stop this Europe. And I just want to see that in Europe, US, it is saying you can use, see, it is saying something in red because I'm in India. This data center is there. So that's why it's far away, right? So that's why it is saying Virginia, Iowa, Central US, East US. So you can choose any one of them. Okay. So, but I am sitting in India. I will select the Asia Pacific and it will suggest me 3 regions, that is Central India, South India, and West India. So this is called the Azure latency test. This all means like every one of you should know about it. It is free. You can do it at your home. There is no cost about it. I will paste the link of this Azure latency test in my video in the link. So you can just go and watch that. So this is the first thing which I just want to show you. Let's say you want to switch from on-prem to cloud. So what all you have to do? You have to check the latency test first, that, okay, where are you sitting or what kind of locations you can choose. So see, here it is showing me green because I'm sitting in India. If I'm selecting the US, it is showing me in red. It is saying that your IP is showing in India and you are selecting US region anyway, means like it can still suggest that you can choose any one of them, but they are red, means like they are not good for you because you are sitting in India, right? So you can select India, I'm in Asia Pacific, and then it will select your IP and they will tell you that, okay, which one is better for you. So overall, it will show only Central India, West India, and South India. So these are the 3 important regions which you can select. So this is the way how to select the Azure regions in the Azure latency test. So this is the first thing which I just want to discuss with you. Now, I'm moving back to my presentation and I want to discuss about this. See, if you are working in IT industry, definitely you would know about the CPU, RAM. So what is Azure cloud? How can you select that? Okay, and see, I'm not going to talk about all the resources which are present in the Azure service. We will talk only about the virtual machines. Virtual machines, basically, it's a machine basically, and it's a virtual machine. You have to just give the configuration of that. So what is vCPU? You can say virtual central processing unit. So you remember when we used to purchase our CPU long back, so it will ask that, okay, or representation of the CPU cores, how many cores you want, and it's the fundamental unit of processing power allocated to a virtual machine in a virtualized or cloud computing environment. So vCPU, you have to understand first, CPU cores basically, which we used to do that. I will show you this in Azure pricing calculator. See, Azure pricing calculator is very important. Once you understand your region, that, okay, I understood that I am sitting in India and my region is Central India, I can take that. So you can calculate based on your region, you can calculate for a VM that how much money you have to pay. And how can you do that? So Azure pricing calculator, I will also paste the, the link of this particular website in the chat in my video, basically in the description part. You can go and take it from there, or you can directly type in the Google that what is Azure pricing calculator, and you can come to this place. Okay, I come to this place for the Azure pricing calculator, and I am selecting the virtual machines first. So because I told you I am not going to touch any other resources or any other thing in the Azure, I am just touching the VM. So VM means what? VM means virtual machine. See, the region I have given here, Central India. See, you don't have to worry about everything here. Might be it is first time for you, so don't worry. It is very simple thing. I will tell you how you can select your right kind of combination for the virtual machine, what is the CPU and RAM combination you need from the starting, and then you can put your hours accordingly, that, okay, I need virtual machine for only 30 hours in this particular month, and I will use it only for 1 hour. You can do that. You can calculate it for 30 hours. You can calculate it for 60 hours, 90 hours, whatever you want. You can calculate the price, the money, which is there. So as I told you, this is pay as you go. So whatever you will use, you have to pay for that. It's very simple. It is telling you that, okay, how much money you have to pay and what is the cost for per hour. So few things are very important here. Number one is region. Region, I have already told you, from the latency, you can select that, okay, I can select Central India and I can select South India, or I can select, there is one more region, right? West India, I am sitting there. So you can select any kind of region here. And then in the operating system, you can select whether it is Linux or whether it is Windows. So you can select anything. I'm selecting only Windows for the operating system only. So don't worry about all these things. And I'm saying here, I just need the standard version of that. Okay. And category all, instance all, you don't have to worry about it. I will say that, okay, I need it for, let's say 1 hour. I just want it from the, as from the 1 hour. And if you go down in the bottom, you can see the currency here. So earlier it was like how much? It was like in dollars, which I have changed into the Indian rupees. So when you create your Azure account, you can see the money in the rupees. Okay. So now here it is selected as, let's say I will select it only for one. And I just want to see the drop down here. So here you will get the different kind of combinations for the cores, RAM, and data storage, temporary storage, how much you want. And you can see the price here. One core, 0.75 GB RAM, 20 GB. So everybody knows about this. If you are working in IT industry and if you do not know the RAM and storage, then please go and read it from the Gemini. That will help you. Okay. So here is the cost given. So let's say mostly what people will do, one core, 2 GB RAM. I think this is enough. If I select that, see, you can select anything for the 1 hour. You can see that the cost is 5.64. If you create your Azure account for one core and 2 GB RAM for a virtual machine in a resource group, I will tell you about the resource group and resource resource and resource group, everything. First the resource group and then the resource after creating the Azure account, maybe in the next lecture. But here you just understand that, okay, how can we use this Azure pricing calculator? So let's say you are coming from any other background or you are a student and you do not know anything about Azure. Somebody's come and say in a fancy word, Azure pricing calculator, I have seen that this costs very much for this particular region and this and that. So you can play around it easily that, okay, what region I can choose? I can choose India. Let me go to India. Yeah, West India, and I can choose it. So it is showing me 6 rupees and 8 paisa you have to give. Okay, 2 rupees average per month, 1 hour. I mean, for 1 hour, it is saying 6.077 per hour. If you take virtual machine of 1 core, 2 GB RAM and 10 GB temporary storage, you have to pay 6 rupees for 1 hour. That is there. Okay. And you don't need to select anything else. You can select here. Let's say I want to use it for 30 hours. So it will change to 182 rupees average per month upfront cost. And see, this cost is just an upfront, right? This is the VM cost which you have to pay. And inside the VM, let's say you create some more resources. So first you have to create a resource only, right? I mean, VM is just a resource and you have taken this. And if you add anything into that, then definitely you have to pay for that because it's a pay as you go model. So it is Azure pricing calculator. I have told you about the virtual machine. How can you calculate the cost based on the region and the hours? And you can select anything from the drop down. So you can see, let's say if I select 16 GB, your laptops are generally like that, right? 4 core, 16 GB, 32 GB temporary storage. It is 23 hours at 23 rupees per hour. So this is the Azure pricing calculator. How can you use it? You can play around. It's free. So at least you will get some idea that, okay, how they are calculating the cost in Azure. So team guys, my friends, I want to tell you about these two things. One is Azure pricing calculator and the other thing is Azure latency test. I hope you like this video. Kindly share it with your friends. This is the first step, baby step to understand about Azure. Keep reading about it. Keep following me. I am going to, there is already a playlist. I am going to keep this video into that. And you can go through all the videos, but you can start with this. That is also fine because we will do some more hands-on. Till now, we have done some theory, but here I have shown you this Azure latency test and this pricing calculator, and it is going to help you. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Keep following me. Thank you.